More fallout exactly 1 week after the Ford government announced it plans to relocate the Science Center and build housing on the land. Well, it appears they didn't consult with the owners of the land when making the decision. The Toronto and Region Conservation Authority is speaking out. They tell us the vast majority of the land is considered hazardous and not developable. Anyone who has been to the Science Center knows it is immersed in nature. The museum sits on ravine lands we're told are considered hazardous due to the steep slopes and floodplains.
So none of the TRCA lands, according to provincial policies, municipal policies, TRCA policies, would be developable.
The only developable part of the lands is the area highlighted in light purple, which is owned by the City of Toronto and is currently the Science Center parking lot. The TRCA land is the large green area that includes the ravine and sensitive habitats, such as a large forest and marsh, home to multiple bird and mammal species, turtles, and amphibians.
There is a lot of wildlife as well. So when looking at what the future holds there really has to be discussion on what the impacts to all of those would be.
But discussions with the TRCA were never had. They tell us the province didn't consult with them on their decision to move the Science Center.
There was definitely an element of surprise to learn of the province's plans from a press conference.
Today, the Premier mused about possibly turning the existing Science Center building into a community center or school.
Either keep an old building all run down, or the province is coming in and saying, I'm going to build you something unbelievable.
And guess what he found out today? That he can't necessarily do whatever he wants on there. So now he's got some other cockamamie scheme. But did anybody ask the community what they need, what they would like to see there? And what is the business case to relocate the Ontario Science Centre at enormous cost?
The Premier also under fire after it was revealed the government signed a 95-year lease with Therma, the Austrian company set to build a private spa at Ontario Place.
That's pretty typical when someone's investing hundreds of millions of dollars. And by the way, I want to make it very clear, there's no public money in this deal. I'm going to repeat that. No public money in this deal.
Except for the cost of a 5-level parking garage, which the government has agreed to pay for. The amount hasn't been revealed.
It's a pretty sweetheart deal, and I would say as well, today is just another example where the government refuses to share details of the business case, of the lease.
I'll be transparent as everything goes through, but there's other proponents out there too, and I can't show them our cards. We're going to make it 10 times better than it was before.
The new Science Center building is expected to be about half the size of the current one. And by the way, the museum's lease agreement on this land is set to expire in 2064. For City News, I'm Tina Yazdani.